And good evening and welcome to another edition of The Way I See It. It's great to be here tonight, and I want to thank you for being here. Comment section wide open tonight. And look on the ticket take, you'll see our live call-in number. Also, we're live on both YouTube and Facebook here every Monday night at 7 p.m. Well, tonight we have a lot to talk about, as we always do. But one thing I do want to talk about today is the latest about Joe Biden eliminating the taxes or the federal tax on gas. You know, President Biden, that's not going to help anything at all. And the reason it's not going to help anything is simply because, okay, you haven't done anything to help anything anyway. So what's the difference as to whether or not you're going to be able to help anything with the gas? Oh, I know, it's going to help maybe a couple pennies. But I haven't seen you yet get on these gas companies. I haven't seen you yet do something to get them to force their hand to do this. And that's cut these gas prices down. Why is it that it was $2.49 when you got elected, and now it's over $5? Oh, I know. Ukraine, COVID. We got this problem. We got that problem. And you know what? I get tired of hearing it every time, and it really gets old after a while. Oh, it does. It gets really old. And you know what? I'm getting sick of hearing it, Joe Biden. I don't want to hear it no more. I really don't. Instead of talking, how about doing something? Okay? You have done nothing. Now, let me ask you this question too, Joe Biden. And that's what our opening commentary is about tonight, is about you, Joe Biden. What have you done to get that Griner girl back from Russia, who's in the WNBA? You've done nothing. Now all of a sudden you're going to have diplomatic talks with Russia. No diplomatic talks, nothing. Okay? You know what I just got done watching this afternoon? I just got done watching the movie Spy Game. Okay, Brad Pitt plays in this with Robert Redford. Robert Redford works for the CIA, and so does Brad Pitt. Well, it turns out Brad Pitt gets himself in a jackpot, and he ends up in a Chinese prison because he went in there to go look after his girlfriend, or go, get his girlfriend out, who was there as a prisoner. Okay, so what happens is Robert Redford decides to help his buddy by getting him out, by doing something to get the Chinese to do something, and they send in a rescue team to go get him. All right, we sent SEAL Team 6 in to go take care of Osama bin Laden. We sent SEAL Team 6 to rescue Captain Phillips. Where's SEAL Team 6 now? Why aren't they going to rescue this Griner girl? Why can't the CIA get some intelligence and find out where she is and do something to bring her home? How come we haven't been finding these two contractors who are former Marines who volunteered to go over to Ukraine to work beside the Ukraine forces to help them out? Okay, volunteered, mind you, all right, to do this. Okay, and now they're missing. After they fired a Stinger missile, they're now missing. So, Joe Biden, what have you done? You're riding your bike in Delaware. That's what you're doing. And I don't have a problem with you taking a break. I don't. Okay? I don't have a problem with that at all. But I have a problem when we have 3 Americans, one of them is in somewhere in Russia. All you need to do is get a satellite to find her and send SEAL Team 6 in to go get her. I don't care what Putin says. I don't care what he thinks. All right? And you shouldn't either. Okay? And this goes back to my adage that I've been saying in my past shows here, that I believe that if Donald Trump was president right now, all of what's going on right now wouldn't be going on. And again, I can't say that I hate him, because I don't. Okay? All right? But if you take a look at the current scenario, we're paying more for gas. There's a lot else going on. All right? And I've said this many times too. Does the president really have anything to do with your personal life? Probably not. Some of you probably don't even care what the president does. Okay? There are people out here who don't watch the news, who don't watch TV, who don't read the newspaper because they think everything that comes out of it is negative. But when their house blows up or there's a problem and they don't know about it, that's why. Okay? All right? And what bothers me about this whole thing, which we'll talk about on another show, is communication. We're not going to talk about that today because I tell you what, as always, we have a lot to talk about tonight. So our show, and we only have 1 hour to fill in because I want you to, at 8 o'clock, to watch me on my TV version of The Way I See It. It's on PCTV, Channel 21, Comcast, 47, Verizon in Allegheny County. Now, you can watch it on PCTV's Facebook page if you live in Western Pennsylvania, all right, or anywhere across the country. So if you're in Puerto Rico, like my one friend's in Puerto Rico, if you're in Texas, like my other friend's in Texas, if you're in Arizona, like my daughter's in Arizona, so if you're anywhere where those things are going on, okay, you can understand that you can watch this program. You can watch my show here right now. I have a friend up in Alaska, in McGrath, Alaska. All right? So, there's no excuse not to watch my program, no matter where you are. But you can watch the TV version of it as well if you live in Allegheny County and you have Comcast or Verizon. If you have Roku TV, if you have Fire Stick, if you have Apple TV, you can watch it as well, 8 o'clock, PCTV, 8 o'clock. So we're going to be done here at 7 or at a little before 8 o'clock. So you can watch me on TV. So you get 2 times. You get 30 minutes. And I have a nice interview that I did with Dave Finoli and Chris Fletcher, who are authors. They write sports books. Dave Finoli has a book in the Baseball Hall of Fame. So you might want to watch that interview as well. I'm interviewing both of them. And they're prominent guys here in Western Pennsylvania. They, do some podcasts and some things. They're going to do some future projects with myself and some media friends of mine, those that I do have. Before we really get started with everything here, I don't know if you noticed or not, I've got some people want us in the comments section tonight, which you, as Juana has, can participate in the comments section. And if you look at the ticket tape at the bottom of my screen here, you have our live call-in phone number as well. And all shows are on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And we're working on getting them on other formats or platforms as well. Wimkin maybe, and a few other platforms. So anyway, I'm sure you're aware that I'm not saying in a battle. I've been in a battle with some local media types around here. Guys that don't want to come on my show because they don't like me because I tell it like it is. Or the team that they represent for my sports program don't like me because I tell it like it is. And that's fine. So they tell them they can't come on my show. All right. I understand. They get paid by the team to do this stuff. Okay. I don't get paid by anyone. I do this on my own time. Okay. All right. Now I have to rely on sponsorship or advertisers. So to keep this show going, to pay fees and everything else and equipment and stuff like that. I have a few. You've heard them on here. Okay? All right? So I don't work for none of these teams at all. So recently on Facebook, I made a comment about Key Brian Hayes, who happens to be the third baseman for the Pirates. He just recently signed an 8-year, $80 million contract, okay? I simply made a comment on Facebook that the $80 million man strikes out every game. Well, I get this illustrious message coming from a media hype who I actually kind of thought he and I kind of, we're not close friends. But being that we worked in the media together and didn't get, he's gotten a lot of breaks because he's worked for a station for a long time, and I understand that. I've made some mistakes that I don't work. The reason why I never kept my radio career going back when I was in radio in the late 80s, early 90s. Okay. All right, I've made some mistakes, and that's why we're back at it here again at my age that I am. Okay, in my 50s, my early 50s, and I'm back here doing podcasts. All right, I'm getting ready to do a radio show where I'm going to play music and have talk. I'm looking at anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. I'm going to play a variety of music. We're going to talk. I'll give weather. Okay. Today, I had a discussion with my wife, and I'm waiting to hear back from a couple of my media friends, some real close ones, as to whether or not I should compete with this guy. Okay? Problem is, I don't want to be getting up at 4:30 in the morning every morning to compete with him. All right? So I'm going to do what's best for me in my schedule because I have a lot on my plate, despite the fact that's why I cut back on some of my media stuff, because I have too much on my plate right now. I got a lot of stuff going on, including Wednesday night. We're having our Transit Council meeting, and in case you're not aware, I'm the president of the Allegheny County Transit Council, and we're having our elections. So it's looking like I'm going to get reelected again as president, which is great. I have a lot of tough decisions to make in the coming year, or we have to make as a council. Okay? It's not just my council, it's the members of the council's council. All right? Okay? Right now, we have a situation where Port Authorities changed their names to the Pittsburgh Regional Transit, and we had Laura Weens on here, who sort of works in the same bracket I do, but she does things differently than I do. All right, I work with a council of people. We're a advisory council to the Port Authority. Well, I'm sorry, Pittsburgh Regional Transit. All right, we are a advisory council to them through the county. All right, so what Laura Weens does is she's with a group called Pittsburgh'S for Public Transit. They do a lot of rallying for transit riders, affordable housing. They get into a lot of causes like that, food. Do they have public transit? And I was in that group at one time and on a consistent basis. And I've gone to their rallies, and I've been on TV. I was interviewed by Mike Holden a few years back. Okay, when we were fighting for the fair fares thing. Okay, all right. So I've been there and done that as far as that goes with her and with this. So I have a lot on my plate. So I really cannot afford to get up every morning at 4:30 in the morning to prepare for a 6 a.m. show to compete with this guy. All right. This guy knows who he is, and I'm sure some of you watching out there know who this guy is. Okay. All right. He was a prominent producer for some talk show hosts. I had this discussion with you on a previous episode of Sports Corner a couple weeks back. And I'm not going to spend too much time. I don't really want to going into this, but he decided this morning to make a derogatory comment. And I know it was aimed at me because I said on my show, and I'll say it again, that he is nothing but a little dinky 1-hour show in the morning on the radio station, and he has a pencil pusher, which is the truth, for a co-host. Okay, so here we are. Now he's going 2 hours, and he made the comment that some people called their show a dinky show. Yeah, that was me, and I'll say it again. Okay, all right. So, like I said before, here we are, back at this again. I made another comment about something. And again, on Facebook, he tried to embarrass me last week. And I told him, don't do this to me because I'll treat you like I treated Adam. And he knows what Adam I'm talking about. And he's trying to play dumb like he doesn't know. He knows who I'm talking about because me and this guy named Adam had a little bit of a situation. Everyone knows about that as well. Okay? You want to go to war with me? Fine. That's fine. I didn't start this. You did. I don't start wars. You're all you media, I have friends in the media. I do. I have friends in the media. But I have guys in the media here that are jealous or something's wrong with these people that they have to disrespect me all the time and try to embarrass me. And you're not gonna succeed because I'm not gonna let you do it. And you're not gonna do it at my expense either. Okay? I already know I'm disrespected by other members of the media. I haven't been invited on any of these other shows. Okay? I'm the president of the Allegheny County Transit Council. Does anybody on any of these radio shows on KDKA or any of them invite me to come on and talk about transit? Does this guy do this? No. Okay? Tries to talk about wrestling. I have a national wrestling show because none of the other stations around here want to put my wrestling show on their station. What do they want to do? They want to disrespect me and play games and make, derogatory comments on Facebook and do all that other stuff. Okay? But if you think I'm going to put up with it, you're not. And that's the way it goes. So now this guy is going to have a 2-hour show instead of a 1-hour show because I make comments about his show being dinky. And it is. It's been dinky since the day you started it, man. When you said, I'm not going to think outside the box, I'm going to think within the box. You're going to do the same thing that the other station does. Okay? It's time for somebody like me to wake people up in this town. Okay? Aren't you tired of the same old stuff every time you listen to these people? At least every Monday night I come on here with different topics. Oh, you want to hear about politics? Well, I don't choose to talk about politics. Because, see, I think outside the box. I do. But I don't sit there and go, oh, John Fetterman this, or Pat Toomey that, or Josh Shapiro this. There's enough of that going on. You got a guy who won't come out of his attic that talks about that stuff. On KDKA TV2 News every single night. He came out of his attic once last week, and he hasn't been out since the election. And he's been in his attic now for 2 years. But no, nobody wants nothing different. They want to listen to the same old stuff every morning or every afternoon or whatever. Okay? You got a guy that's on from 9 to noon who says he wants to help people. I asked him for help. He never bothered to return my phone call or my email. But he wants to help you, but he won't help me. And then he was talking about transit. And then another guy that's on from noon to 3 on that same station last week was talking about transit. I kindly spoke to the producer on the phone and said, listen, here's my phone number. You want to talk a little bit more about what's going on, with this Pittsburgh Regional Transit, or do you want a different opinion? Call me. I'll be more than happy to come on and talk with you. Never bothered. Never bothered. Okay? And that same guy, like I said, he's trying to talk wrestling on his show in the morning. Hang it up. Now, instead of reaching out to me and saying, hey, Ralph, how about coming on my show and let's talk about wrestling for about 5 or 10 minutes? Or let's do one together. No. Okay? No. But that's fine. You do what you want. I'm going to keep mine national. And I'm going to continue to go on these national shows and talk wrestling and talk sports. Because I get more respect out of Pittsburgh than I do by some of these media people in this town. You know why I'm lost for words? You want to know what I'm calling myself now? The Forgotten Son. Lived in this town my whole life. I've talked with people for 35 years in customer service. And I'm not afraid to get on this microphone and talk either, because I've done it before. I've done it many times. But this is the disrespect I get. And now, the person here who tries to embarrass me on Facebook now moved his show up another hour because I made a little comment about his little dinky show with his pencil-pushing co-host. Because his little pencil-pushing co-host has never spoken on a microphone before. He used to be an office clerk and push pencils in the office of the station. And the only reason he got that job, doing what he's doing, is because he was a pencil pusher. Maybe I was offered some jobs being a pencil pusher, driving the promotional van on live remotes for some stations. I turned it down. I wanted to be on the air. I didn't want none of that. I could have been a board op for the same station that he's working for right now, that he's worked for many years. I could have got as a board op. No, I went and worked for the worst station in the city as an on-air person that drew practically no audience. Okay? I wanted to be on the mic so bad. It was amazing. And now I'm back again. And everybody's afraid. What, I'm going to steal your audience? Maybe. Maybe. All right. Tonight, the way I see it is brought to you by DJ Fun. DJ Fun is a great party DJ. You ever need a party DJ for any kind of party, okay? You call DJ Fun, 412-545-4317. Over more than 10 years of experience. And let me tell you this. DJ Fun will not take you to the cleaners. Because you have guys out here who are DJs, only been doing it for, 6 months maybe? And they're charging thousands of dollars. They're taking they're taking you to the cleaners. Okay? DJ Fun will not take you to the cleaners. All right? Call DJ Fun today. Fun experience value, 412-545-4317. Weddings, parties, special events, outdoor events, like marathons, things like that. Special 5Ks. He's done it all. Call him today. 412-545-4317. Now we're going to start our blast session. And here we are. Are you ready for our blast session? Now, I want to get on city council for even thinking about closing down the Sue Murray pool over on the north side. Okay? Now the pool's going to open up because finally the people of the north side decided to finally wake up and do something for themselves. Okay? You heard Bobby Wilson, how many times the city council guy come on TV and say, I need your help to open this pool. You came out and you helped open the pool. But how about helping to keep, and this is, I'm going to blast the people of the north side. How about doing something to keep these kids from doing this violent BS on the north side and causing this problem? And how about city council and the mayor getting together? The mayor was even at the pool. Okay, you got guys committing crimes coming from that apartment complex in the back. Well, why don't you put some undercover people there and bust it up? Why don't you do that? And that's why I'm blasting city council and the mayor tonight. Because you know it's going on, but you don't do anything about it. So put 2 or 3 extra cops at the pool. Get rid of the troublemakers that are making it bad for everybody else. Do something about it. Oh, well, the people spoke. They did. Now it's your job, the city council and the mayor, to make sure that none of this happens again at any of these pools. And that's why I'm blasting you. That's the way I see it. Next, the closing of the Giant Eagle Shakespeare over in Shadyside. Okay? This was going to happen a few years ago. This guy bought this property, and he wants to tear the Giant Eagle down, and he wants to put up condominium apartments, office space, and retail, just like they did with the Penn Plaza apartments. All right? Okay? And we'll talk about that later in the show. All right? But I'm blasting the fact that this guy is now going to close this store down. Fine. He's going to close it down. And now, Giant Eagle's manager, the general manager of the store down on Center Avenue that has the Market District, came out on the news and on the media and said, I don't want my store overcrowded. And what do? You still tear the store down. You're still going to build your property there. What? You can't tear half the whole mall down like you did up in Greentree and keep the Giant Eagle there like you did in Parkway Center? They say they're going to put another store there. And now, the Staples is closed over at the East Liberty, or the Village of Eastside. And now they're saying they're going to put a store there. There was a store there. When that first opened, it was East Liberty Station Mall. There was a Shop and Save there. All right? And we're going to talk tonight, about security, safety, and the 10%ers. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I mean by the 10%ers. Okay? That's the way I see it about the Giant Eagle Shakespeare. It's closing around the end of July. All right, Medicare customer service. Now, you know something? Medicare, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. My wife is having some issues trying to get her Medicare straightened out. She calls customer service. This woman gets on the phone. And you know what? She's a volunteer. Working from home, noisy kids, all this other horse and cadoodle, okay? Has no answers for any of the questions that my wife has. So guess what we have to do now? I have to waste my time getting in my vehicle, wasting gas that I can't afford to waste, to take my wife somewhere. And it's not that I don't mind doing it. I don't. But why should I have to go through that when you could have answered her questions on the phone? So now I have to take her to an office up in Mount Lebanon to get that handled. So I'm blasting Medicare tonight. What is going on here? You mean to tell me you can't afford to have people that have some kind of common sense that when they answer the phone, they can't answer the questions as to what, for what the questions are? That's the way I see it tonight about that. Leaving pets and kids out in the hot heat. What did the news say? Oh, that's right. Nobody watches the news. No, everybody's on their cell phone, but nobody knows what's going on. You're on TikTok worrying about some new body. But in the meantime, you put your dog outside. It's 90 degrees or 100 degrees outside, heat index, and you put your dog outside, let him stay out there for hours and then die. No. You leave your kid in the car. It's 90 degrees outside. You leave him in the car seat, inside of a car with the windows up and the whole heat and everything, and the kid dies. I'm blasting you tonight because that's foolish. That's stupid. Why would you even do that? Because once again, we don't listen or watch the news. We only worry about getting on TikTok. We only worry about putting our nude pictures on TikTok or whatever it is we do there. Okay? We only worry about singing songs, talking about somebody's mother, and using the F-bomb. Okay? But how about listening and watching the news and actually listening to when they say, it's going to be 90 degrees outside today. Don't put your dog out for excessive amount of time. And that's a shame. And I'm blasting you tonight. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, leaving a dog out in the hot heat to die. No water, no food, and a muzzle on his mouth on the one case. Are you kidding me? That is the way I see it. I'm so frustrated. Tonight's bonehead, the guy, remember the guy downtown who decided he was going to smash everybody's window with a fire extinguisher in the parking garage. All right? What an idiot. And you know why he's an idiot? Because he thought he could get away with it. Well, guess what? Money talks. Now he's under arrest. They know who he is. They got him. He was even masked up and somebody knew who he was and turned him in. Good. That's what you get for being a bonehead. Okay? Yeah. You're a big-time bonehead. That's my bonehead move of the night, other than the people who leave their dogs outside. All right. Next. Okay, in the comments section, Giant Eagle Shakespeare closing. Yes, it is the end of July. And I want to thank Warner once again for being on. We're supposed to be getting a state stimulus check. Yes, that's being tied up in the legislature right now. Our so-called Republican Senate doesn't want to let Wolf pass out these checks for some strange reason. I don't know why, but he doesn't. They don't. And it's not coming out of their pocket. Oh, God help us if it came out of their pocket. Okay? All right. Next, sorry to hear. Yeah, that's a shame. And now I have to go somewhere so she could sit and talk with someone who does know what's going on. But I shouldn't have to do that or waste my time, you know what I'm saying, and gas and wear and tear on my vehicle because of someone else's stupid mistake. And this is where we need to hold public things accountable. Okay? They screwed it up. They fix it. Not me. I don't fix it. You fix it. You messed it up. I'm tired of fixing mistakes that come from public agencies. I've had to do that too many times, and I'm tired of it, and I'm not doing it anymore. You fix it. You screwed it up. But then I have to fix it. Why should we have to fix it? When a mechanic screws up your car, what does he do? He fixes it. When the roofer don't fix your roof right and you got a hole in your roof, what does he do? He comes back and fixes it. Okay? So why can't the public agencies fix their mistakes? Like the IRS. Well, they accidentally put $2 million in somebody's bank account. Yeah, that's your problem. You fix it. You made the mistake. You eat it. Why should I give it back to you? You gave it to me. Do you see what I'm saying? All right, life story this week. Not a lot going on. I was at a graduation party on Saturday at the Upper St. Clair Country Club. The lady that was hosting the party was ignorant. You know how, you go to a graduation or birthday party and the mom and dad, the child, they walk around, they shake hands with you. They say, thanks for coming or thanks for being here or whatever, okay? Well, the woman comes up to me and goes, you want something to drink? Yeah. My wife was with me. My adoptive son was with me. Okay. Yeah, I'll take it. No, I don't need anything to drink. I bring my own drink. Because half the time, when you go to these things, they don't have the drink that you like. So I bring my own drink. And if you don't like it, too bad. Okay? You want something to drink? What's going on here? Ignorance everywhere, and it's getting out of control. I mean, I get it in this building. I get it out on the street. I get it at a party, at a graduation party. Then at the end of the night, no, hey, thanks for coming. Nothing. Nothing. Not even the time of day. The kid didn't even thank anybody. Ignorance. And it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Like, we can't ask anybody nicely anymore. No, everybody gets an attitude. It happened again on Saturday night. Nicely, I asked, can you please move your truck? You're parked on the handicap line. I can't get my scooter up the ramp because I just come home and I'm tired and I want to go to bed and I have to get up early for church. And instead, I have to put up with this again. And the woman almost runs my wife over with her car and then says she didn't see her. You know, that happened to me at Penn and Negley. This happened a long time ago. It was around 2016, 17. I was on my way home from church, mind you. Penn and Negley. I'm on my way home. I used to live in Garfield. Okay. When I lived in Garfield, I would scooter home from church. I'm coming across the crosswalk, and this lady wasn't paying attention, was on the phone or doing something. Said she didn't see me when she hit me. I got checked out by the paramedics, had to go to the hospital. Fortunately for me, I wasn't hurt that bad. Okay? It was 95 degrees out that day. And I'm laying on the pavement right in the street at Penn and Negley. Okay? I didn't see you, sir. I'm sorry. Look, Stevie Wonder can see me because I'm a big person. And if you can't see me, then you obviously have problems. All right? Maybe you shouldn't be driving if you can't see me. Or my wife, on the other hand. Okay? All right, we stopped at Fiore's. I tell you what, I haven't had a Fiore's pizza in a while. We stopped there, got some pizza. Well, actually, we didn't get any pizza because we had pizza. My wife and I had pizza the night before, so we decided to stop and get a sandwich. I got a hoagie. Same old, authentic, good Fiore's food. It was great. It was really good. Then we stopped yesterday on the way home from church. We stopped at the Chinese buffet over there in the village of Eastside and had a lunch. And I got to tell you, usually when we go over there after church, there's 8,000 people in there. There was nobody there yesterday. There was maybe 2, 3 people at the most. Usually it's crowded. You almost can't get a seat. It was Father's Day, so I thought, well, you know what? It's great to go early because we could beat the rush, the dinner rush. And we beat it all right. So, we did that as well. But like I said, this week was kind of small. As usual, I'm on the phone fighting with the downtown for housing again. I've dropped that right now. I can't continue to stress myself out talking to a brick wall because that's what it feels like these days anyway. Okay, Walmart removes My Pillow from their stores. The reason they removed it was the pricing. Mike Lindell wanted to use the same pricing he does on TV, or he does here, he does there. And, Walmart, they want you to do things at a lower price. Well, apparently, Juana says there's ignorance everywhere. It's getting bad, Juana. It really is. It's getting tough out there, folks. Comment section wide open. Also, our live call-in numbers are wide open. It's on the ticket take here at the bottom of the screen. Also, we're live tonight on YouTube and Facebook. We're here every Monday night at 7 p.m. 8 o'clock tonight, PCTV Channel 21, Comcast 47, Verizon Cable. The way I see it, TV version. My special guest, Dave Finoli and Chris Fletcher. All right. And that's the way I see it about Walmart tonight with My Pillow. Atlantic City casino workers authorizing a strike. There hasn't been this happen since Trump had his hotels there. And a lot of you didn't know. But because a lot of you don't watch the news, you don't pay attention to this stuff. I do. Atlantic City tore down Trump's casinos because they didn't want no problem. They didn't want any his name to be there, because the mayor of Atlantic City actually does have a point. What has Trump done for Atlantic City when he was president? Did he do anything for them? No. Okay. What he does is he screws his workers. About 3-4 years ago, before he became president, they all went on strike. All right. Well, it turns out he tore his casinos down. Now there's some workers at some other casinos now that are authorizing a strike because they're frustrated with what's going on there in the working conditions. And this is why people are lazy. And this is a small reason why people don't want to work, because of the way they're treated by these employers. I come to find that out. I did some research. I did some checking. I talked to a few people. And this is what's going on right now. People are not happy with the way their employers are treating them, so why should they go to work? Then they go back to worser conditions than it was when they left. Or maybe they got laid off because of COVID. All right. So, here we are with, people not working. And really, I really didn't know this. But I kind of suspected it because remember when they had the Great Resignation not too long ago? Everybody resigned from their job and went to something else, and they thought it was funny. Not funny at all. And I said, why are you doing that? You're screwing the economy. Okay? You're screwing the country. You're screwing your employer. You're screwing people around. Well, I come to find out that some of these employers aren't treating these employees any good. They're giving them the money they want, or the $15, $20 an hour jobs that normally pay $8 an hour now. And that's probably what it's all about. And the fact that they didn't make any money because of COVID. And it's tough. It's hard to make up for that stuff. All right, that's the way I see it tonight about that. Next, well, here we go. Governor Wolf looking to give us a stimulus package of $2,000 every citizen in Pennsylvania. But now the legislature, as I mentioned earlier, has it all tied up. They don't want to see us get any money. That's fine. That's fine. Comment says here, I am glad that I brought this up because people that work get treated badly. Yeah, I found that out. I mean, when I come on this program, folks, I don't come on here just to talk out of my backside. I come on here to talk because I know what I'm talking about, or I've done my research on what I'm talking about. Okay? And I do apologize maybe a little bit here, just a tad, just a wee little bit for saying there are people that are lazy. And there are people that are lazy that really don't want to work. But it's also the employer's fault. They treat these people like crap. And when you do that, that's the result of it. I know some places where they purposely tell their managers treat their employees like crap. They don't care. But you know what? They should, because now you fire somebody or you tell somebody to leave, or they don't even call it fired anymore. They don't even say you're fired. They say you're dismissed, or your services are no longer welcome, or you can leave after work, or now, or your services are no longer required. They don't do, you're fired. They don't do that anymore. They really don't. They just don't put you on a schedule. They think, forget you. All right. Anyway, 4 states around the United States, Pennsylvania being one of them, are looking to do this $2,000 thing because they have money left over from stimulus. And of course, Pennsylvania's doing it, so everybody else has to do it. We live in a copycat world, so why not? And that's the way I see it tonight. Gas companies striking back at Biden for blaming them for this crisis. And it's the truth, it is them. All right? Why would you buy gas from the Russians when the Russians are causing problems? Buy your gas from Saudi Arabia or Kuwait or somebody. Okay? Even Afghanistan or whatever's there. At least the Taliban will work with us. So they say. That's something else too. I don't even want to talk about that. All right, let's see here. Next, the federal government is looking at a stimulus package. But guess what they're going to do? They're going to give every citizen a gas card. A gas card. Now, I don't know how much is going to be on that gas card. But they're looking at a stimulus package to give you a gas card to fill up your tank with gas. See, the point I'm trying to make here, everybody, is why should we have to do this? Why should the president or anybody have to give us a gas stimulus pack thing when we should be getting on the gas companies and doing something about them? And the banks that raise interest rates. Why are we not doing something about this? That's what the point I'm trying to make here. That's the way I see it tonight. PUC has plans to have 5 power companies return $64 million to the consumers for overpaid taxes that they illegally charged. $64 million. $64 million. I'm not going to go any further. All right. Pittsburgh ranks number 13 in the nation for startups. Well, of course, we're all putting up these breweries so everybody can go and get drunk. And we're putting up all these restaurants that want to open up. Why? Don't you see there's restaurants closing? They can't find people? Why? Why are we opening up more breweries so more people can get drunk and cause problems? Why? Why? I don't have the answer to that question. I don't. I've come to the conclusion that most people's brains are either dried up from smoking too much dope or something, and drinking too much, or doing something because their brain's not there. That is the way I see it, man. That's the way I see it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the way I see it. All right, let's get into our topics tonight. I want some key topics. We just got into some minimal topics. Now we're getting into some key topics. And one of them is we're going to talk about the 10 percenters. You know, you have 10% of the country that's rich. You have 10% of this, 10% of that, 10%. But here's the 10 percenters I really want to talk about. You notice in Pittsburgh here, we're trying to improve neighborhoods. They're trying to improve them to create jobs, open up businesses, make things better for the community. But you got this little 10%. This little 10% that don't want to see change. And let me give you a classic example of that. There was a guy who busted up some windows in East Liberty at the new office building and the place where Whole Foods is going to go, at the old Penn Plaza Apartments there, right at Penn and Negley and Penn and Penn Circle or whatever, Station Street, whatever that's called nowadays. Okay? All right? You know, that whole East Liberty area has changed. They even thought about, and Ravenstall thought about this, and so did Peduto at one point, of changing it to East Side. Okay? But you got the little 10 percenters that are going to go, I'm still going to call it East Liberty. I'm still going to call it East Liberty, man. Because there's these little 10 percenters. They live here. They live here in this town too, in this area. Okay? That don't want change. They don't want to see change. And I understand that some people's housing got interrupted. Fine, I understand that. Okay? And I'm sorry about that because I was once a victim of that. I couldn't find a place that I wanted, affordable, in the East, so I had to move out here to the South Hills. I had to. Because where I was living was not handicap accessible, and it was hard for me to do my daily life. So I decided that I'm going to look into everything in the East or anywhere thereabouts was what they call, taken up. The waiting lists are sky high. And then you have all the residual, okay, from people who were, what you call taken out of those homes that decided they wanted to stay out east, so they clogged up the waiting list. Okay? I had to move here. I'm not complaining. I got a place. I'm blessed. I got lucky. Okay? I'm blessed. I'm glad. I'm happy. I'm happy I got this. Okay? And I understand that there are people out there whose friend cousin Harry or cousin Ronnie or whatever, or cousin Maria or whatever, had to move out. So you're going to go and you're going to destroy the windows at this new office building because you're unhappy about what's going on. They're improving East Liberty. East Liberty's looking really good. East Liberty is looking super good. It's looking nice, has been. But you still got them little 10%ers that go into the Dollar Tree and steal. You still got these little 10%ers that want to rob the coffee shop. You got these little 10%ers that rob Capri Pizza's drivers. You got this little 10% that want to cause problems, make problems for everybody else. Little 10%. Okay, you got the 10%ers up here that don't want to see development. You got the 10%ers in this building that don't want to see this building improve. You got 10%ers everywhere that don't want to see any kind of change or improvement because it doesn't work for them. So they go around, they shoot people, they rob people, they break your windows, they scratch your car, they do anything they can because they're angry because my neighborhood isn't what it was. I can't loaf on the corner and steal from the old lady. I can't rob the little kid of his ice cream. I can't, on the Halloween time, steal their trick-or-treat bags. Okay? That's the 10%ers that don't want to see improvement. And I can name you a half dozen or more of communities in this town that there's this little 10% that don't want to see improvement. They don't. They don't want to be told that they can no longer hang out on the corner anymore because there's a restaurant opening up that costs $20,000 for a plate of spaghetti. You catch my point? The 10%ers. They're out there. They are. You know why? Because I'm clapping for them. Because they're the 10%ers. You're never going to get it. To improve the Pittsburgh, you got to improve the neighborhoods. But how can you improve the neighborhoods when you got the 10%ers that don't want them improved? And it all boils down to our attitude in this country. That there's nothing, and we don't care, and we're ignorant, and that's the way it is, and that is the way I see it tonight on that. Next, I have two questions for you, and I tried to tonight to get a security expert to come on here. I couldn't find one. Some of the ones that I have that come on here, okay? Now, I don't know what this means, but there's somebody named Dan Sobel who says G. Okay? I don't know what G means, but we'll, I guess that means great. Good for him. I'm glad that this Dan Sobel thinks that it's N and G and whatever here, and good for him. But thanks for tuning in, Dan. I really appreciate that anyway. Besides that, safety and security. Do you feel safe? Let's take a look at Pittsburgh Regional Transit. Okay? They want a safe environment for the bus drivers to drive a bus. Okay? But they leave people hang outside in the hot heat and in the cold weather for hours waiting for a bus. Is that safe? No. In this building, they make us show our ID when we come in and out of the building or when we leave and come back. If you don't, they write you up. But we got people in here selling drugs. We got people in here verbally harassing somebody like me. They got somebody in here who assaults my wife. And all I get from housing is call the police. Call 911. We can't do nothing about that. That's not our problem. It happened in your building, and it's not your problem. But you say that by showing our ID, it's safe. That's not safety. That's not safe at all. Okay? I don't think I need to go any further than where I've gone with safety right now. Because there are things out there right now that people are saying, well, do this and it's safe, but then that's going on and it's not safe. Okay? There's no room for error when it comes to safety. And security's the same way. Why would you hire security and then tie their hands? Okay? Why would you hire security and they can't do anything about nothing? Okay? Why? All right? I worked in an apartment building doing security. Wrote up a tenant many times. Never got evicted. Security here writes up tenants. There was a tenant has been written up 90 times, never been evicted. Okay? I see security guards walking around. Their appearance looks so stupid, it's unbelievable. They look like bums. Not all, some. I see them on the bus. I see them on the street. I see them here. They dress like bums. Okay? They're supposed to be professional security. And nowadays, with 12 and 15 and $20 an hour now for security, just like it was when we had the world leaders here back in the what was it, 10, 12 years ago. I was working store security at that time. Okay? Why would you have security and tie their hands? Okay? What is real security? I'm talking about you want to know what real security is? Real security is you pay a guy $20 an hour, you let him carry a weapon. And let him do his job. To an extent, let him do his job. And I don't mean beat people up. I don't mean kick people in the head. I'm talking about let them do their job. Don't tie their hands. Why do you have security there, but then you want them to call the police? What, you can't call 911? That's what they tell us to do. You see what I'm saying here? What is real security? Are you secure? Are you secure anywhere? Where you live, when you walk, when you play, whatever you do, are you secure? Do you feel secure? Probably not. Where was the security for January 6th last year? Where was security at then? Where was security at when 9/11 happened? Where was security? What is security? Is security a joke? It can be. I've seen it. I've been there. I've done it. But I never wanted to be the joke security. Okay? I dressed appropriately. I cut my hair. I shaved. I did what I needed to do to look good because I took my job seriously, which most people don't. I see security guards walking around with their pants halfway down their ass. That happens anyway, so what's the difference? Okay? Tonight, that is the way I see it. Thank you for watching. I'm Ralph Williams. It's been a pleasure being here. We're here every Monday night, 7 p.m. We're live on Facebook and YouTube. We have a live call-in number as well, as you see on the ticker take. Okay. Don't forget, tomorrow night I'll be here live on Facebook and YouTube. Sports Corner with me, Ralph Williams. We have a lot to talk about, several topics, different things, Pirates, Steelers, Penguins, and a whole lot more coming up tomorrow night at 8 p.m. right here on YouTube and Facebook. Don't forget, Thursday night, 8 p.m., 347-205-9631. The Wrestle Talk with me, Mark Mancini, and Smoking Jim Frazier on Blog Talk Radio. And don't forget, Saturday at 5 p.m., Sports Corner with me, Ralph Williams, and Smoking Jim Frazier. I am Ralph Williams. This has been the way I see it. Have a good night. Thanks for watching, and be safe.